And we're live. Hey, everybody. It's Michael Pero with podcastcondition.com. And this is the 72nd episode of Whatcha Drinking. And I'm here with Dan. Dan, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. I'm pouring a very delicious beer, something I was drinking all last week while I was on vacation.
We'll definitely have to talk about that. That sounded like some good stuff.
Yeah,
What
we
was
got a
it
wild
about?
we got a wild card this week, so we get to drink anything we want, any style, any region, whatever we want. So this is my beer here. Hey, Mike, what's going on, man?
Yeah, Mike.
Hey, how are ya?
Good,
Beer looks
man. Good to
good.
see you. Yeah, it is good. We haven't even talked about what it is or anything, so I was just pouring it. So I thought I'd share what it looked like because it's awesome, and that head sticks around forever. Last time I had one of these, it's just perfect beer. Um, it was actually going towards what Kevin was requesting when I posted, what should we bring, and he wanted to bring a fall seasonal,
Yeah.
Right.
which this one is. So what did you guys bring to the table? We got Dan, we got Mike. So what are you guys drinking tonight? We got the wild card.
Go ahead, Dan. Do the honors.
Oh, okay. Let's hear. I got this actually a week ago, and I was originally going to bring a beer that Mr. Copera was considering for this evening and might pull out later. But I drank that last week, so the other beer that I got last week was the Pipeworks Forbidden Root collaboration, which is n'est pas une bière, which is an old ale brewed with spices. The spices are including, in no particular order, I guess. Uh, let's see here, fermented in oak and brewed with lily, Peru balsam, and cherry stems. So I've had old ales before. I mean, English old ales. This does not taste like them. It's lower ABV. It's about right for the old ale style. Um, but and it's malt forward like the old ale style typically is. It's kind of a relative of the barley wine on the strong ale spectrum, but definitely on the lower end of it, at least as far as the alcohol goes. It's like you'd expect. It's really malty. I'm trying to. It's not like what I usually drink because there's not a lot of hop presence, if any, because it's brewed with spices. So there might be hops in there somewhere, but it's mostly coming off as being sort of the barley malts and how that's coming together. So it's a lot of caramel, coffee, a little bit of chocolate on the flavor because I've had some already. So I'm sniffing it, but I've actually had a couple of sips.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty tasty. It's not my favorite beer or my favorite style, but it's a nice beer. There's a little bit of kind of a tang of not sourness but sort of tartness to it. So yeah, it holds together very well. I'm kind of glad that I drank this one because there are a lot of styles I don't normally go to, and I like the part of the show where it's sort of like you get to get out of your comfort zone because then you figure more stuff out, and it really is kind of exciting to discover new things. So it's good. I like that.
Nice.
I had that one in my hands, like I told you before the show started. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
glad you have it, so I can see it and see what you think. So, what's going on, Mike? What do you got tonight?
I've got a Long Trail Limbo IPA, and I really like the art on the bottle there. So I'm trying to show you what it looks like. It's
Oh yeah,
hard to
that's
get the
cool.
camera, but
It's cool.
um, it's from Long Trail, Bridgewater Corners, Vermont. It's a new beer for them. I'm not sure. I first saw it when I was up in Vermont skiing in February, and they were saying at the brewery then that it was new, so it couldn't have come out much before February of this year. Um, it's a heavier IPA than Long Trail has had in the past. They had just their regular IPA, and it was very light. It was light on hops. It very kind of the antithesis of the way IPAs have been going lately. More hops, heavier, higher alcohol. They've been around a while, and their IPA I think was one of their first beers they came out with, and so it was low on the hops. Didn't have much to it, and it honestly wasn't one of my favorites either. But they came out with this, I think, one, because they just kind of see where the trend was going, and two, they've got some good competition when it comes to IPAs from Vermont. People are going up there to get the heady topper, and and so, I think they kind of see where that market's going, and kind of in their backyard, and so they came out with this beer, and it's 7.6%, 80 IBUs. It's delicious. It's fantastic, and so I had it for the first time at the brewery, and so I knew it was fresh, and then I picked up a case and brought it back with me when I was done skiing that weekend, and it was another probably 4 or 5 months until it was probably like 4 months until I actually saw it here, and it's been showing up in the liquor stores, kind of hit or miss ever since then, and this I just picked up the other day, and kind of in the last couple of times I've been to the store, it's been there at a couple different places. So I think it's kind of spreading now. Unlike you, Dan, this is one of the beers that I try to drink as much as I can of, and it is in my comfort zone. But the reason why I picked it tonight is because it's also in my wife's comfort zone, and when it's here, she drinks it, and I do my best to try to get one before it's gone. So that's why I picked it tonight, and it's delicious. It's a good one.
Fantastic. That sounds like a really good one. I'd love that. Because those are definitely my comfort zone too.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my friends has said that he likes it better than Heady Topper. And I don't know whether he's saying that because it's a lot easier to find and easier to get, so it's easier to say you like this one better. But I mean, it's definitely that's what they're going for. I mean, they're going for that style. You can see it's cloudy. It's got some junk floating around in there like Heady Topper does, and the flavor is along those same lines. And you taste the hops. It bites a little bit, and it's good.
Nice.
It looks awesome. I'd love to try that. So cool. Is that come in 6-packs or 4-packs?
6s.
Nice, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. My beer tonight is, I think I'm going to have a couple, first of all. So this one I'm starting with is from Shorts that I got earlier this past week when we were on vacation. This is their Harvest Ale. It's their wet hop from field to fermenter kind ale. It's a cool design. I don't know exactly who that is from the brewery on there. It's a cool little label.
It's Brewery Guy.
Right.
Brewery Guy.
I think I've actually seen that guy in some of their YouTube videos, so he must be an employee. But it's awesome. It's got it's a little cloudy, but it's light, and it's really crisp. And there's something about a wet hop beer that I totally love. I'm excited for this season. Fall's my favorite, so this is where I'm because I'm not the biggest pumpkin beer fan. I mean, I'll drink them and I'll seek out a couple of them. I've already had let's see, I was out to see what was the concert I was at was Spoon at the Chicago Theater. The place I was at had the what is it? The Pumpkin, and
Okay.
it's still good. I like that beer a lot. It's just that. It's just a lot, I can't imagine doing a whole bomber because sometimes you can do that if it's a 2-beer night and there's no one else to share with. You could polish off a bomber easy in one night, and I just couldn't do that with that beer. It's just too intense. There's a lot going on, and I don't know. So that style and the Oktoberfest and the those types of beers are the more malty styles. Those I like them, and I will drink them when they first come out. But after a while, I tire of those, and I quickly either want to go for another hoppy beer or I'm ready to dive into stouts and porters, which I've been doing lately. I actually had the Muddy by Goose Island. I don't know if they're distributing that out to you in your neck of the woods, Mike. But
I haven't seen it here.
Yeah, I just saw it, and I read about it coming out, and it sounded interesting, so I wanted to make a point to grab it when I saw it, and I can't even remember where I picked it up now. But comes in a 4-pack, and it's a really colorful bottle. It's kind of got an old retro rock and roll style of artwork on the print for the bottle, and it's got like a little speaker on it, I think. So I don't know. It's cool, but it's a delicious beer, and it reminds me because it's an imperial stout, and it's the same style of the first beer I ever brewed. So it really reminded me of that beer. So it was really good. They were pretty high in alcohol, if I remember correctly, but I put a couple into the cellar, so I'll hang out to those maybe a year or two and see how that changes. I don't know if they're gonna even ever do that beer again or re-release it. So it'd be kind of cool to hang on to them for a while if they don't. But I hope they do because it could be really a cool series, especially if they kind of add on to that. Because I'm kind of missing stouts lately, so I've been making a point to buy them. And my wife Ronnie, she likes them, but she's not. She definitely prefers like the hoppier stuff. So when I get them, she's not as drinking with me as often, so I don't know. It feels
You don't have to worry about her drinking all your stouts.
That is true. That is true. The other Muddy sat in the fridge for like a whole week, and I was like, all right, I'm drinking this one tonight. And that was last night actually. So
yeah.
But yeah, if you guys see it, grab it and check it out if you're into the stouts yet. This one is really good. There was a lot of really good beers, but this one was not even released yet until the day before we were leaving. We asked them when the kind ale was coming out because it's the season for it, and we were kind of excited. And the weekend the first weekend when we got up there, we had a couple friends meet us to kind of celebrate some good news. We have some friends that are expecting their first child now, so. I don't want to name them just in case they are watching or any of their friends are, but they know who they are. And it was a really good time. We had a couple other friends that always usually join us when we go up there for like a short weekend. But they joined us at the house that we rented for the week, but they were there for like the first 2 nights. And we went to Shorts like Saturday, and we spent like pretty much an entire afternoon there, had lunch, and just kind of shared a bunch of beers and flights and stuff. But we asked about this beer, and they're like, yeah, it's done. It's being made, and they're bottling it now. So like it could be tomorrow. It could be any day now. We're like, oh, awesome. And it wasn't out until after they all had gone home. We went there the day before we were gonna leave. We were like, hey, we're here for some beers. We had a couple in mind that we wanted, and then I was like, dude, it's the kind ale. We're getting it. And we had 2 that night. One of us each had one, and it was just so good. It's such a fresh beer. I couldn't remember if it was a bottled on date. I don't think they ever do that for some reason. I remember I've seen a lot of people that review their beers always knock them on the fact that they never put the date on. I don't know why they don't. I don't know if they even care, but man, that town is crazy, getting shuffled up with the move. The pharmacy that was next door to them is completely across the street in a completely brand new redone storefront. So it's really nice, and you can hear them working on construction in there while you're walking past them in the middle of the week while we were walking in the early afternoon. It was cool. So they're working on it, and I don't know when it's supposed to plan to be open, but they're expanding, and it's gonna be huge. We drove past the Elk Rapids facility where they do the production and saw the brewery there, so that was cool. And that's a beautiful area. We drove up to Petoskey, and that is just amazing. That Petoskey is, I don't know, it's really, I mean, it's touristy. I don't, Dan, what is the story behind the Petoskey Stone? I don't understand it. You mentioned it in a text. I saw it sold in every little like souvenir store that we walked through, and
Yeah.
I've heard other people mention it too. And I have not been able to even have a chance to look it up. So you sound like might know the story of
Oh,
the
well, I mean, there's not much of a story to it except that Petoskey stones are basically there's a kind of stone that you find or used to find all over Petoskey. I don't know if they might have been picked over a lot more since they became a thing for years and years and years now. But they're basically a fossilized stone that has a distinct coralish kind of pattern to it. And so you polish them up and you get these stones that are very attractive looking, have a very distinct pattern to them. And since they were all over the area, they got the name Petoskey stones.
Gotcha.
So you find them in every store. You find them, everybody's got to get their Petoskey stone. They go to Petoskey. It's just that sort of, it's kind of like in Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin, they have the Freshwater Fishermen's Museum with the world's largest muskie, except that it's actually classier, because it's not this stupid, fiberglass muskie that you go up and with your family and jump out of its mouth and take pictures. So it's I guess a distinction of the area. It's just kind of a.
It's a pretty town, dude. There's a bike trail that runs like 26 miles up the coast of the lake through the town. There's a section. It had to be at least a mile or two where they built a wooden bridge to connect and keep the bike trail at the same level as the road that you can drive into town.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's gorgeous. Like I was like, I really wish we brought our bikes up. I mean, it would have been a brutal ride because it's a lot of hills, but it was nice. I mean, it was really, really pretty. But we actually had lunch at the Petoskey Brewing Company.
Right.
And that I was telling you a little bit before the show started, Dan, but it's an interesting building. It's really an old building that used to actually house a brewery back in, like, let me see, I'm on their website right now. The building known as the Old Brewery was first completed in 1898 and was used to brew Petoskey Sparkle beer until 1915. According to a 1973 article in the Petoskey News, the Petoskey Brewing Company was originally owned by Frank and Garrett. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, the building, it's cool because it's got 4 stories and over 70 feet tall and only 20 feet deep. So it was like really interesting design. It was kind of weird, but they have a really updated and brand new bar downstairs, and the food was good and the service was really good and everything. But the original building stands where they brew inside. I think I covered kind of most of the numbers on some of that stuff, but like they used gravity to kind of move the beer along with using the 4 stories, and now it's used for office space or different areas of the business as well. But they keep everything pretty much original, it sounds like. So it was kind of really cool. Their beers were really great. The Dark Knight was their black IPA, which we grabbed a growler home to that and finished that before we even drove home from Michigan. So we finished that the last couple of nights, and we had the Mines IPA, which I grabbed a few, and Dan got one of those for you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it was a really good trip, really relaxing. We had a place on the lake and got to enjoy a lot of great beers and sit along right in front of the lake and the fire pit and a lot of stars. It was what we needed, so it was really cool.
Sounds great. Yeah, sounds like a good
awesome.
trip.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it, but it was kind of beer centric. I got a chance to, we hit quite a few breweries, but also I brought the Floyd DeRoot the Three Floyds and the brewery collaboration that they did, and
Yeah, how was that?
it's that is a very complex beer. It's got a lot going on in it. It is a lot of spices, but it was very high in alcohol. I think it was up 9-10%. So a lot of people kind of balked after a couple sips, and they kind of let me finish the whole thing because I liked it a lot.
It's good when that happens.
No,
Yeah.
I had heard that one. I want to say that one was brewed at the brewery, right? Was that with the facility they actually used to brew it up?
I think well there's two versions of it. I've come to learn. There's Floyd
Right.
de Brew and Rue de Floyd, and I don't know which
Right.
one was brewed where, but I assume the one I had was in Three Floyds, since that's where. Yeah, it has to be because that's where my friend bought it. So.
Okay. No, because I remember they were. It was initially kind of designed as a cellarable beer, but I guess that it got infected, and I forget if it got infected by lactobacillus or if it got infected by Brettanomyces. It must have been lactobacillus, because they were saying you might not want to cellar this because it's going to change the way that we had designed the beer to sit and kind of change over time.
Yeah.
So be careful about that. So I
Which
didn't
version?
know.
Do you know which version that happened to?
I think it was both, actually. That's why I want to say that it was like brewed, because that sounds very much like a brewery thing. The brewery has actually had a couple of instances where they've had lactobacillus kind of start free range brewing on the premises.
Imagine
without them
that
wanting.
with all
Yeah,
with all those yeast that they use. Like it's bound to happen.
yeah, exactly. So I
Oh,
didn't know
good.
if you.
I'm glad I had it then before we put it in the closet because it was delicious. I liked it a lot.
Oh, good.
It was very unique. I wouldn't buy it again in the next probably couple years, maybe just because it was a $30 bottle. But but it was good. I'm glad I tried it. And anyone who's on the fence, I'd say go for it because it's worth checking out. I mean, I don't even remember everything that's in it, but there was definitely a lot of like spicy stuff in there. I was trying to think all night when I was drinking, like what I compared it to, and I had it a week and a half ago. I can't remember what I thought of, but it was it's not something like a lot of other beers. So if you're looking for something new, that's something to maybe get your hands on if you get an opportunity. So. What anything I missed? You guys go to any breweries or any releases that you guys read about, or anything that's going on in your guys' neck of the woods?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a while since I've been on, so I could update you on my entire summer, I think.
Well,
Do it, man.
hit some highlights, man. Yeah, because it has been a while.
What's going on at Trillium?
Yeah, so I went to Trillium last week, and I went, it's a 10-minute walk from where I work, so I went on my lunch break, and on Fridays they open at noon, so I went on my lunch break, and I didn't bring growlers to have them filled, and so I was just going after whatever bottles they had, but it actually turned out to be pretty good because the line for growlers was like down the block, but if you wanted to buy bottles, you could just walk right in, walk right up, get them, and walk out. So it worked out.
I love that.
Yeah, it worked out well.
At noon during the week. That is insane.
Yeah, I know.
You're just gonna wave to the people and go, "I'll get my bottle. See ya."
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm asking people as I go up. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're getting growlers." They're like, "Yeah, go ahead." I'm like, "Okay." So the reason why I went was because they had from time to time they do these limited batch ryes and wheat that are aged in oak or like either oak barrels or bourbon casks, or they mix it up, but they're limited release ryes or this was the first time they did a wheat beer, and so I grabbed a couple bottles of those. They're expensive. I mean, I think they were selling them for one 12-ounce bottle. It was $10, I think.
Or a 10-ouncer.
Yeah, which is steep.
Yeah.
So,
It's like 120-minute IPA territory right there.
yeah. I mean, they're good. I mean, I haven't had a bad one. I think I've had maybe 4 or 5 of them since I started going there, and I mean they're all fantastic, and it's just a really good beer, and you know you really get that aged, you know, in the cask flavor on top of the rye, a good rye beer, and it's a good combination. So I grabbed a couple of those, um, and they do a beer called Sun Shower. It's a high alcohol farmhouse saison, and it's one of their better ones. I feel like it's like the perfect beer for you know, for the season we're in now. You get these, you know, warm days, cool nights, you know, cooking on the grill as the sun's going down. It's like the perfect beer for that. So I grabbed one of those bottles as well, and I'm saving it for the weather to cooperate here. It's raining right now, but maybe this weekend it'll be a good time to break that one out.
Nice.
What's the temperature by you guys?
It's like in the high 50s. I think it only got up to like low 60s today, but it was raining for the most part, which is actually good because we haven't gotten any rain in, I feel like, months. So you know, the leaves are changing and everything, but it seems like it's happening a lot earlier than it normally does, and I think it's because it just hasn't rained. It's just been so dry.
Yeah.
So we're getting rain today. I think we're supposed to get rain tomorrow, and then I think it's supposed to clear up after that.
All right, weekend beers then.
What's that?
That's for the weekend beers now. You just keep that until Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. No, it'll be perfect. But as far as other breweries, maybe it's appropriate that I'm drinking Long Trail tonight because over the summer I did again go up to that brewery. My parents had they rented a house on a lake up in Vermont for a week, and it was maybe like 20 minutes from the Long Trail Brewery, and so we went there while we were up there, and the last couple of years they redid their brewery and their tasting room, and they have like a full-on restaurant now, and it's a nice place, and they actually modeled it after the Hofbrauhaus in Germany. So it's kind of neat to go in there because the decor is very similar, and it's just it's a fun atmosphere. It's no Hofbrauhaus, but that's what they're going for, and they did a pretty good job of it. But they still, of course, have the obligatory moose and deer heads hanging off the walls because it is. But it's a fun place to visit, and it's a good brewery, and especially now they're kind of branching out into this, you know, the Limbo IPA that I'm drinking tonight, and they got a few other ones, sort of these. They have like a small batch series now, and their original Long Trail Pale Ale is just a solid go-to beer. So it's always a good place to visit there.
Nice.
So Dan, you got a unique beer today. You were at your normal watering hole, but quite early this morning. Not to be drinking, but to buy more beer because they're selling bottles now. Is it just like these kind of special releases before you even talk about what beer you got, or are they like kind of opening a little beer store there? What's the selection like?
Well, I mean, okay, so what we're talking about is Firkin here in Libertyville, and Firkin is sort of the craft beer bar pretty much in Lake County. I mean, we've got the beer store a few miles down the road in Lincolnshire or Vernon Hills, but really Firkin has kind of been a premier beer destination in Lake County for a while now. And I guess, their bizarre growler laws, well, I wouldn't say bizarre, but their growler laws, if I can say that. Thank you.
What percentage is that beer you're drinking again?
It's
Say growler lost 3 times really fast.
All right. Growler. Okay. The growler laws in Illinois are such that you can't distribute beer from a tap in a bar unless you brew it yourself. But the bottle laws are not the same. So Birkin has actually been distributing bottles for special releases for a while now. They, I guess, have done Bourbon County Stout on Bourbon County Stout Day, which is Black Friday, for at least last year, and I think probably for several years before that. So the last couple of months, and I'm sure I brought this up in a couple of previous episodes, Birkin has had rare and aged beer day on Wednesdays. So on this particular Wednesday, they had a Goose Island. It was like Dark Bridge or something like that. It was a beer that Goose Island brewed once, and it was a 2013 release, and it was a darker lager, and I forget what that was, and that was on tap, but I didn't go tonight, so I didn't have that. But in bottles, they had a one per customer release on KBS, so they were doing Kentucky breakfast stout today, and they had like a case in the fridge, and they opened up at 11, so I was like, I literally live, half a mile away from here. I'll drive over and get a bottle. Well, why not? And so I got my bottle at 11:30, and I went in there and I was like, I don't have to drink this here, do I? Because there's no way at 11:30 to have like a 12% beer in my belly.
It's a breakfast stout.
Yeah, exactly. That's like a brunch stout at that point, man. Oh my god.
You can drink it. What's the problem?
I'm not that much of a day drinker. God.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. So so that was like kind of the deal. And it's been interesting with them because that was kind of a cool thing because KBS really kind of came and went back in what it was like April, March, and so yeah. So to have that crop up in September or actually 1st of October is kind of a cool thing because it's long gone. So this is a second chance for some people. But what was actually kind of a cooler event was last week, and this was easily the most intense turnout they had throughout this entire series. They had Firestone Walker, and they actually had some people from Firestone Walker. They're handing out stickers. I'm actually looking at one. There's we have them down here in the bomb shelter kitchen we have set up in our basement. But they had the Velvet Merkin, which just got released. They have the Double DBA, which is their double barrel ale, which is pretty much a barley wine that's barrel aged. That was a delicious beer on tap. And it was the last year that they released that because I think they're clearing the decks for some other offerings from their brewery now.
And they're not doing Velvet Merkin anymore, right?
No, Velvet Merkin they are. It's the Double DBA, but actually with Velvet, I'm not sure about Velvet Merkin if they're going to do it again or not. But they did a reformulation this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't mean to cut you off. I was just reading that
right.
From Beer Pulse. The headline was Firestone Walker Velvet Merkin makes.
Yeah, it's not Curtain Call. It's I don't think, was it? Yeah, it was like.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe it was just that meant that they were going to stop doing it.
No, I know for sure that the Double DBA they're going to stop this year because they made a big deal out of saying, we're not brewing it again for a while at least after this year. It's one of those sort of, we're never brewing it again until we do. So it's I got a couple of bottles at home, but I hadn't tasted it yet, and so having it at this event at the bar was nice. But they also have the Sticky Monkey, and actually the Sticky Monkey turned out to be Terry's favorite beer, and she just bought it because of the name, because she's like, Sticky Monkey? This is gonna be cool.
Is that a Firestone Walker as well?
Yeah, it is. It's their Belgian Quad barrel age, and oh my god, it was definitely a dead heat tie. The Velvet Merkin was good, but it's not really a sellable beer. It's not something you're going to hang on to for a year or two and try again. But the Double DBA and the Sticky Monkey are, and oh my god, are they awesome, because you could just taste the difference in depth. Velvet Merkin was really good because it had a lot of nice notes popping off of it from the barrels that it had been soaked in and then blended. But the DBA and the Sticky Monkey were really much more about the malt bill, about everything that was going on there, and then adding the barrel on top of that, and then adding the aging on top of that. So that was really, you could tell that that was the event people have been waiting for, because every night, it's been pretty well attended, but on Firestone Walker night, there were people just jam-packed in that place. So it was, it's been a good series of events. I'm interesting to see how long the luck will hold out, because you can only do it for so long before you're kind of like, well, we've tapped all of our good stuff, we got to restock. So, so I mean that's one of the big things. The only other big thing is that I went to Tighthead during that, which I've been to before, and no big news there except they're about this close to putting out beer in bottles. They've got labels. I was actually at the Homebrew Club here in Lake County, and one of the guys in the club, who was like a former officer or something, is brewing there. I think it's an assistant head brewer or something along those lines. And he was saying, we're waiting basically on the labels to come in, or the bottles and the caps, and then we can bottle the beer and we can distribute it. So
that's awesome. I love their beers. Did they say which ones? I'm sorry if you mentioned that.
No, I didn't mention that actually. They did. I know for sure they're going to be doing the what was the one with the anglerfish in it? That was the chili water. They're going to be doing the.
I like that one.
Yeah, chili water's a good one. Comfortably Blonde, which is okay. It's a good kind of gateway beer. They're what is it? The a Scarlet Fire, which is an amber ale. That's more on the sort of safe beer side, sort of getting started in craft beer. And their Irie IPA, I think are the four that they're going with. And what I found interesting is they're going all bombers. And when you're going with like the lower gravity beers, especially like the blonde ale and so forth, to go the bomber route is kind of a better price that way, because that's really sort of a six-pack. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. But I mean, you could say that to any. You could say that maybe about any startup brewery right now. If they went the other way, and I think it's because you're used to a brewery when they start distributing. Because Pipeworks is the only one that I know besides like the Chicago startups like Spiteful. Are you happy? I'm finally drinking Spiteful, Dan.
There you go. Yeah, I am. Well, have you had a sip yet?
Holy shit! I didn't want to interrupt your story because I'm taken back by this beer. It's fucking good.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I'm buying more of this tomorrow. I'm probably buying at least 2 more of these. This is the peanut butter and jelly goddamn pigeon porter. Also in parentheses, AKA a love story.
Oh man!
And the art on this is awesome. I have not had that many of these, and I know, Dan, I should be drinking more Spiteful. Not only that, I love the label on this. The dialogue on here. I don't know if their beers commonly have this kind of stuff on here, but I have to read.
All the time.
All right, I have to read this. It's funny as hell. It says, normally we hate gossip, but listen to this. Colin told us the raspberry pigeon and pirate pigeon were getting hot and heavy at the chocolate banana pigeons party. In fact,
wait, which is another release in the series.
Oh, so, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. In fact, we heard they got it on. It's all in bold and shit. What you hold in your hands is their love child, bearing notes of peanut butter and tart raspberry. Unfortunately, this means more fucking pigeons. This is really, really good. I mean, there's a lot of raspberry in it. There's only like a hint of like peanut or peanut butter. It's more the smell. You totally smell the peanuts.
Yeah.
But I actually put this down for like a good couple minutes just to kind of smell it after it's warmed up a little bit, and I kind of want to hold it. But God, it's so good, dude.
Hell yeah.
I have to send some of this to you, Mike. It's so good.
Yeah, sounds good.
No,
Yeah.
no, and what's really good about that series is that they're not shy to experiment. I mean, like the banana, because I remember there was a couple of I don't think it was episodes back, but I was texting you about the banana porter, and you're like,
Yes.
I don't know, dude, you sure you want to drink that? And I mean, the banana totally didn't come through on the flavor or the nose of the beer that much. It was a little bit background flavor, more in the mouthfeel, I would say. Because banana is kind of an oily fruit and sort of kind of had a fullness to the mouthfeel, if anything. Um, excuse me. But yeah, they are not shy about taking that beer and doing all sorts of wicked ass weird shit to
Yeah,
it.
it's good, man. And I bought another one because my wife does a beer exchange at work once a month, and and I was out on my way to Binny's on my lunch break today, and I asked her if there was a specific style she needed, and it was either going to be an Oktoberfest or a pumpkin beer that she needed. And Spiteful did a pumpkin beer that I'd never seen before, and it's the Jackass O'Lantern, and it's got a donkey on the front of it. Um,
So,
Looks interesting. I actually kind of want to get another one just so we can have it. I don't know. Hopefully somebody else brings the same beer and she picks that one. I don't know. But it's good. I mean, I love her beer exchange at work. I kind of want to start one at my own job. My boss has kind of hinted that I should keep it on the down low in a sense. But she usually comes home with something really good. I mean, I usually make sure she brings something good to the table as well. But I've been very pleasantly surprised with what she usually brings home from the polls. But I've seen Pliny on the table there.
Damn.
Yeah, they don't play around. There's a couple guys that I'm Facebook friends with. I've never met him before, but based on Ronnie's recommendation, he friended me, and he's on this, like, I don't know. There's a list of or a group or whatever you call it on Facebook that I joined. It was like Chicago Beer Snobs or Chicago Beer Geeks or something to that effect, and I get a lot of good news from it, so I stay on, but I can't stand 85% of the people on there. Their posts are just, you could tell they've been into beer for maybe a year or two, and they demand so much more than they should even, they have no idea what they're talking about, and their expertise is just above anyone else's, especially all the brewers that are putting all this shitty beer out. And it drives me nuts to read their opinions on most stuff, but they forward a lot of good articles, so I stay on top of some of the things that I want to read about based on what people forward. So until I find out where they're getting them, I'm kind of stuck with them for a little bit. But they, I've seen some. What was the last thing that they were just posting? There was a couple releases at Three Floyds. I know they're doing their Brewdoo. Is their harvest ale, their fresh hop ale.
Yeah, but really the Yum Yum has been sort of something they've been pushing the hell out of that.
Yeah, have you had that yet? I never even heard of it. Is it good?
Yeah, I had that. That wasn't a special release at Firkin, but Yum Yum has actually been around for a number of months now. It's not a new beer by any means.
No, it sounds like it was like kind of a hit at their pub, and they decided, we're going to take out the pride and joy, and we're going to start bottling this Yum Yum.
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty accurate, and it was definitely a hit beyond the pub. I mean, I remember having that at Firkin within the last 6 months. I couldn't say when. It could have been 2. It could have been 6. But people were saying, yeah, fill me up with that one again. And with good reason. It was a fantastic beer. I would say every bit as good as a Zombie does. No question. And Pride and Joy was always one of those beers where it came out and I kind of went, eh. So to go with a Yum Yum in place of a Pride and Joy, yeah, I can see that. But yeah, I mean, the Brewdoo is a it's like the heavy-handed of or a pink or point. 3 points. Oh my God. Okay, I gotta get cut off, man.
What's the ABV on your beer? What's the ABV on your beer? I just want to know.
What's that? No, it's not that. I mean, it's high. It's 8.5, but it's not that high. It's not like I'm drinking.
Well, you started at 11:30. You drank that beer, didn't you? You got it.
No, I did. No. I will say that I went to beer before. Or I went to beer before this. I went to dinner.
You can't.
Bless America.
This defense is not helping you, sir.
No, I went to dinner before this, and I did have beer there. So it's not meant as a defense, more as an explanation of bad behavior and lack of English prowess. So at least I can say English prowess again, and it makes grammatical sense. Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
What's up, Kevin?
I gotta go get my
Hey,
beer.
Kevin.
Even though I only have
No, stay here. You just get me to stop talking because I'm.
Go get your beer.
Damn.
What was I going to say? I got thrown off by Kevin.
I was gonna say it's like, Dan, you just gotta shut up now.
So no, I think I'm gonna have to start trying a little bit more spiteful beers now. I don't know. I'm starting to become a believer. This is good stuff. I mean, I've never had a bad beer from them, to be honest. But
Where is it? Where is Spiteful?
they're Chicago. It's a small little startup here. They're maybe 3 years old. Would you say, Dan?
No, I'd say they're 2 or 3. Actually, Facebook messaged them not too long ago, back and forth a couple of times. Only thing keeping them down is that they just don't have the brewing capacity yet, and they're going to because I really wanted them. There's a new store that opened up here in Libertyville called the Craft Beer Store, and they can't get Pipeworks because everybody wants Pipeworks, and Pipeworks comes up here already, and Spiteful does a little bit, but mostly just to Binnies, and the only reason they basically are Binnies in the city is because they have no capacity for anything else. I mean, they are that's what they can fulfill order-wise, besides maybe a few kegs in the city. But yeah, actually, one last quick funny thing about Spiteful. Best beer title they have is Selfies Are for Wieners. The label basically is a 4-panel cartoon with a guy taking combing his hair, taking a selfie of himself. It's like a step 1, how to take a selfie. Step 1, comb your hair. Step 2, take selfie. Step 3, punch yourself in the nuts. Step 4, never do that again. I mean, it's like I took that up to the cashier, and she was kind of going, ding, ding, you know, best label she had seen the whole day. So yeah, they're good.
Well, Kev, I've got a spiteful beer finally.
Oh, nice. What is it?
It's the peanut butter and jelly goddamn pigeon porter.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's got a lot going on. How much
really,
in it?
How many pigeons? Is that what you want?
Flavors.
It's really good. It's a lot of raspberry, but it's
raspberry jelly.
Yeah, it's a lot of raspberry. There's the peanut butter or the peanuts is mostly in the smell, but it's a really, really good beer. I highly recommend it if you see it.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
So, what do you got? What you bring me?
I think you just saw me run back. I grabbed the one that was in the front, so it is wild card night, right?
Right.
It is.
Okay, good. Otherwise, I'd have to finish this really quick since there's not much time left. This is from Founders. It is Dark Penance.
Oh, I have not seen that. What is that like?
I hadn't seen it either. I got it. I was in Michigan this weekend, and so
Nice.
this was in the store, and I thought, well, I don't see. You know, a lot of times with something like Founders, I'll see something that we don't get here in Chicago. So it's an Imperial Black India Pale Ale. So a black IPA, an Imperial Black IPA.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever even seen or heard about an Imperial Black IPA.
But you have, and I know because we were back when Two Brothers Hop Centric used to be called Hop Juice. We had Hop Juice Black the one year.
You're right. Okay, stand corrected. That's totally true.
But no, this one, it claims 100 IBUs and 8.9 ABV. It's pretty good for It's really good. In fact, I had one the other day, and when I grabbed this right now, I was thinking in my head, oh, this was good. It was, wasn't fantastic. It was good, but no, I'm having it now and thinking it's really good.
Well,
Nice.
how does it compare to that hop juice?
You know what? That's it's been a couple years on that one, and I couldn't.
Isn't that hard? Like, I was just
Yeah.
thinking about that. As soon as I asked you that question, I was like, God damn it! I was just thinking. I'm horrible at remembering like what I think of beers because if someone just asked me like last week like what my favorite beer was, and I was like, you can't ask me that question because I mean I have my favorite brewery, but it's beyond the beer itself. But it's your favorite beer can change from time to time.
It does, and like there's some beers that in the past that I've thought were equal, and then I'll try them today, and I'll like one much better than the other, and I don't know if that's my taste, if that's changing on the beer itself, if that's that could be so many different things. It's like when time it's hard to judge something against something when too much time has passed for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
But
So,
mostly my memory.
Yeah, I just remember when hop juice came out, people were like, "This is totally different. It doesn't taste anything like last year's hop juice, and
Okay.
it's not even close to as hoppy, or it's way hoppier." And you're like, "How do you remember a beer that you had a year ago?" I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I remember.
That. Like,
I remember some things about it, and I always remember if I liked something or not. Like,
yeah,
what I can't do is compare it to. Like, I remember I liked that. I remember it wasn't. I didn't like it quite as much as the original hop juice, but that's because I don't think I would like anybody's dark IPA better than their regular IPA. That I can't think of a situation where that happened, but that's just because in my preference in the styles. I like one style better than the other. That doesn't make the beer better. It's just it's hard to compare that sort of thing. So anyway, it's interesting anyway. It just means we got to run out and get another one. One won't do.
Right.
How are they selling that beer? Is it a 4-pack, 6-pack?
Oh yeah, this is a 4-pack. I was actually hoping to find the a Founders beer I haven't seen in maybe 3 years. Their Harvest Ale. I was trying to keep my eye open for that. I don't know if they still make it and bottle it for the season.
I think they do.
But I haven't seen it around Chicago in good 3 years.
No, and I mean they've really been pushing two recently. It was the Mosaic. It was the big one that was a big release not too long ago, like in the last week. Yeah, and then the other one was the one that you actually brought to the show a couple of weeks ago. Was that the Imperial? Yeah, it was like that Imperial Pilsner. Or?
Yeah, that's
lager.
they called it
IPL?
an Imperial IPL. An Imperial IPL or something. I don't remember. Whatever it was a lager and it was big.
It was an IPL.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked good.
That was
they were putting out some like cool like little series beers, that one's been coming out. I've heard some other stuff that they were putting out as well.
Oh, I must be on a Founders kick because I'm suddenly realizing a week and a half. We haven't talked in 2 weeks here, right? So a week and a half ago,
Right.
I had a single bottle of the Devil Dancer from Founders.
Oh yeah.
They call it a triple IPA. I don't know if that's a real style, but that was fantastic. I'd had that once before years ago. It was really, really good. It was expensive, and that's why I only had one. It was one 12-ounce bottle, but that one was really good. It was like 12%, and a million IBUs. It was
A million.
I had to remember. It was something that that number's too big for me to even think about what that means.
If it's over 100, I've heard it takes like an expert to be able to tell.
And that's what I mean. I was like, well, it was happy. But that was a good one. Now those are really expensive. Those are like, I don't know, $18 for a 4-pack or something like that. So
yeah, how was this 4-pack price? Reasonably, or
I think so. Yeah, I think it was your normal like $9.99 or $10.99 4-pack, which is what I think most of them sell for.
Yeah.
Which is expensive, but
I was just gonna say that is expensive for just 4 beers, but at the same time, it's a good beer. So what I'm thinking, we should probably take a look at the wheel here. I think we're gonna make some changes just because we've got some some styles that might not fit so much. But let's see, I've got a Belgian wild card collaboration, 10% or higher, IPA with Cascade, anything from the cellar, canned beer, Saison. Do we want Saison anymore? I think we've hit it like twice in the past few months, and it's not really the season for it anymore.
Yeah, sure. Drop it.
Yeah.
We could bring it back in the next few months if you want, and I'm happy to do so. But I think that's.
No, we're going to be seeing more stouts and barley wines pretty soon.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got blended beers, smoked beers, which reminds me of that smoked porter that Stone's putting out with chocolate and orange. Excited about that.
No, I had a really good smoked porter over the weekend with that a homebrewer made. Don't diss the homebrewing. That's some good stuff.
You made a homebrew smoked porter? Wow.
I know I didn't know. A friend of mine did. And
no, it's still that's.
Yeah, no, it was really good too. Yeah, it was some tasty stuff. Anyway.
A Berliner Weiss, Kolsch spiced beer,
Berliner Weiss, isn't that a summery beer?
Yeah.
But
I was going to say the same thing about a Kolsch, too.
I was going to say the same thing with a Kolsch.
But with Goose Island, they're just putting out a Berliner Weiss like in the near future. Yeah.
I don't know.
With
Berliner Weiss,
pomegranate.
they keep because I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I'm just saying that I agree. That's usually a summer beer, but I don't know why Goose Island. I think it's a Halloween beer because they're putting it out with pomegranate juice, which is like blood red. And so I think they're marketing it as a Halloween beer for some reason, which is kind of weird because you think that's really kind of a warmer weather beer.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're still around. I guess is the short of that.
Yeah, interesting. Well,
that's interesting. Take it off.
Yeah, all right, it's gone.
I think I did before you even finished. Actually, before you started. Let's see, spiced beer, half a Weizen, anything local. So that anything. I say when we talk about that one, I say you got to go to the brewery and get it there. Maybe I don't know. Is that even?
Oh yeah. I think pretty much anyone can do that these days. I mean, everybody on this episode, at least right now, I'm pretty sure that Skylar at the very least could. Yeah. Considering he's brewing the beer at the brewery, so
his homebrew qualifies then, I guess.
I mean, yeah, Brandon's in a tough spot because I'm not sure where he is as far as where he's living now. Because it sounds like when you're in a dry county, that's all the way around. That's a bad beer situation.
I don't want to jinx anything. I know that there's a chance that things might change for him sometime soon. So we'll just wish him good luck and
absolutely.
That means better beer for Brandon. So
God bless.
So anything local, pumpkin beers, Oktoberfest, Harvest Ale, Russian Imperial Stouts, and we ended with the sour.
All right.
What are we missing here? There's got to be something. We didn't say barley wine, right?
No, there's no barley wine in there.
Do we have any of the location-based categories left on there?
The other thing I saw.
You kind of after the Washington debacle.
Yeah, that was a bad scene.
That was bad.
It's like, why don't they distribute out of their state?
Yeah, no, nothing from any area. So.
What about foreign? What about European beers or countries?
Yes.
German.
Yes, let's do that.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Lithuanian beers even.
Kevin can bring back his
that's the
Doppelbock.
Right.
I'm sorry, no, that was Latvian.
Something with a label in a language you don't understand.
Yeah, a beer you can't pronounce.
That's actually a good one.
Unpronounceable beer now?
I have European typed out. I'm changing it to beer you can't pronounce.
That's fine. That's what I had with the sour beer. Remember, I just had to text you it.
Nice. Anything else, or are we good?
Sounds like we're good.
All right, we're gonna apply the wheel changes. And it is spinning. I turned the sound down, I think, on this thing, so now.
That's a weak spin.
Normally it's got a cool little spin. So what's it say, guys?
Spice beer.
Spice? Is that spice?
Spice beer.
Ice beer.
Oh, I just did that tonight.
What do you have there?
No. Well, what I had before was the Pipeworks Forbidden Root collaboration.
Oh,
That was
okay.
spice beer. Not my favorite style, I will add. I'll go there. God damn it.
Hilarious. Dan breaks down at the very last minute of the show.
Can I prorate my choice from the wild card? All right.
All right, guys. I will leave it at that. Thank you guys for joining, and thanks everybody who's watching, and also anyone who watches after this uploads to YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Vine. I haven't been on my Vine account forever, but hey, if you're on Vine, let me know, and I'll start doing more stuff on there. But for now, we're doing pretty good on Twitter and Facebook and everything. But also join us. Subscribe on podcastcondition.com, where we post all our shows. In fact, you know what? I gotta see if that's been updated for a while, because I think we might be quite a handful of shows behind on that. Never mind. Don't listen to what I just said. I didn't say that at all. Don't go on there yet. Actually, go on there and subscribe to the web show. You can join us on YouTube by doing that, or you can do it on the website. So thank you for joining, and like us like this video on YouTube, and subscribe and pass to your friends. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining, and we will be back next week with spiced beers, Dan's favorite style ever. Thank you.
Yay!
Cheers.